Now the question would be, what would Mark Milley be doing with long sending billions of dollars to Ukraine while the American people are stuck in a border crisis struggle in the cities and shit? Don't make no sense. So they're doing all this at the same sequence and time of doing what they're doing. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? To bring in a new world order. So while people is busy with the border, they're not paying attention to what's going on that border over there with Russia and Ukraine, and want to believe that this is just a coincidence of trouble. But when you moved on the Ukrainians in itself, you know what I'm saying, and made this trouble happen, you know, we saw the deal in itself. We saw the deal. So we know that this is calculated in itself. There's no way we're going to have a major border crisis of a president running around the campaign trail saying open border policy, and expect that we supposed to have just go along with that. But everybody was so busy hating Trump that they forgot to watch the back door. You see, now the back door is wide open because Creep Joe Biden opened the door while you were busy hating Trump. You know what I'm saying? Giving this clown creep any type of vote, all because you had to vote for the Democrats. There was no justification, any good saying about Creep Joe Biden. And as a matter of fact, during the campaign trail and the ramping up to the debates and everything else, we didn't hear one barely bad thing about Creep Joe Biden. Now all is being revealed that he was a creep from day one. But at the same time, nothing was being said. The only thing was being said at that time was Republican, Republican, Republican. And every single jackass that's in bed with the clowns came out to do the dirty work by picking on the Republicans, bullying the Republicans, saying dumb shit, arguing over dumb shit, somebody getting punched in the face, all type of stupid shit. Running up in Trump's lectures, Republican lectures and shit, grabbing the mic, wrecking the stage, carrying on, you know, all the time voting for this bullshit pandemical shit that was going on by the demon Democrats orchestrating New World Order, fake ass World Order bullshit. And people went for it in every step of the way. No one was listening to anything the Republicans had to say based on anything that was based on saving our world. All because they ramped up the hate on Trump. That doesn't make any sense. And then when we look at all the intricals around that or in that, we see a whole nother set of schemes that led up to where we are now. Now we're looking at one of the major things that seems to have some kind of gripping going on, you know what I'm saying, is where you have Kim Jong-un, you know, helping out Russia, NATO over here on the other hand is all piling up their money and giving it to Ukraine, after they had paid all the millions of dollars probably to get in, and I'll take for shit they sold, and pumping millions of dollars out to them to make sure that they join. However the sequence went, it doesn't make any difference. It's the fact that you have over 30 something nations talking about that's their way of armament for each nation in case of nuclear shit, and they could get the people to disarm and stay calm to the NATO nations and get a protection and so on and so on. You know what I'm saying? But what I don't understand is how and why a grown ass man and a grown ass set of people who's supposed to be elected officials and people of some kind of goddamn sense, even if we're talking about oligarchs and faces we don't see, who's out there running our fucking country behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck are you doing? And the question still remains, is, what the fuck did we do to you? Same thing we gotta ask when it comes to the invasion of African people. Not the whole of Africa, but many parts of Africa. You know what I'm saying? Showing up on the shores and showing up here and there and bringing slavery and garbage and all kind of taking over the people's shit and shit. You see it in Ireland, in Britain, and all type of garbage that is going on there. So, and now many of them also are being ran by these people. You know what I'm saying? And many of these groups that we don't see. So what would it be that you are doing in the minds of the common people, as if you, the common people, have no mind to think for yourself? You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, we see a lot of people do though, but it still leads back to the same thing. What would a grown ass man be doing as an elected official, supposed to be chief and commander, elected by the people hand, to be the chief and the commander seat, to be speaking for us? Now, that's one of the greatest counterfeits of all. This is why many things were able to slide in and be hidden. Many things that happened that were a phenomena, you know what I'm saying, they captivated and make sure they kept for themselves, making sure nobody else could get this and get that. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to the common life of the common people, though, and they're electing these officials, you know what I'm saying, what the fuck is you doing in itself based on the schemes and the games and not the protection of the American people? You doing as you see fit, causing the controversy and the bullshit as they see fit, with no regard for human life. You know what I'm saying? Never have, never will. But this is a type of mind frame that was facilitated through even religion. Many of the mind frame that you see as to how they treat each other, first of all, how they treat the people of the world, including many different races, black people, white people also, you know what I'm saying, how they treat all these different groups, you know what I'm saying, and the conflict that we have seen over the last 47 years and even before, to where we have even had people coming over here hijacking planes in a political or religious statement of mind, to where lives are lost because this religious factor, America might have did something or something happened, and or some kind of political situation that they're supporting that's in their land. You see what I'm saying? Because this is how they roll. It don't be that they're actually there, and which they are, because we know that. We're not going to get into that. But at the same time, they're there, and something or the other is precedent or making it real. So they figure to themselves, the only course of action to strike back, because they don't have the necessary so and so and so and so, and know that if they do so and so and so, it could get to a certain point where, you know what I'm saying, it'll be even more detrimental for them. So the only thing they have, based on getting some kind of solution to that religious war or invasion of their homeland or any kind of that, but was to come over to America, you know, and hijack a plane. I got the people sitting on the plane in the heat for hours and days, to where the people were dying, and they were throwing them out the window of the pilot windshield glass or whatever. Or when they're doing throw the people out like a rag, a piece of shit in there. A regular set of people, I don't know, maybe some diplomats and whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying, unregular people, you know, just flying, taking trips, and they don't know what's going on, or they do. And on the way there, they get hijacked. You see? So these type of things right here, and the many things that go on in many other countries, have led to an overstanding that we should be at right now. You know what I'm saying? The awareness of American people is not the awareness that should be at its point right now, because we're too much dependent on something that has to be done to wait for something to get it done and say that it's being done. That's not happening. What is being done is you're doing, it gets done, and then instead of going with the people and the people direction as to its whole prosperity and what it's supposed to be doing, it is claiming to do so in a way that is, in one sense, might benefit or have a little beneficiary, but at the same time, theirs is triple times higher. You see? You see? And many of these elected officials and people, family, are very corrupted even before they even probably got into politics and politics and shit. Because that's what they did with. Because we know there's a lot going on underground, under the table, under the skirt. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot going on. But the American people has got to make a choice that's going to create, not wait for somebody to preach it and use it as a campaign slogan. And one of the worst campaign slogans I've ever heard in my whole entire life. And I couldn't believe they didn't even demographic dummies. You know what I'm saying? All the dummies that were following them, because there was a whole ton of these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Was preaching open border policy. So they had to know what that open border policy shit was going to do. They knew ahead of time exactly opening that. Because why would a president, a grown ass man, be preaching that on a campaign trail, along with his vice president, the other dummy? And all of them just preaching open border policy, what is a great virus coming, blah, 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 blah. Why would they be preaching either one and saying that they got to make vaccines because this, that, and the third, and the police coming. And then preaching open border policy at the same time. Something don't, it don't make sense. You're preaching open border policy, right? In a pandemical scheme of using the vax or the shot, whatever, and you have the border open, preaching open border policy. So what good would the vax do? Because now you're letting in all types of people. Don't mean that they have diseases. I didn't say that. But you're letting in all type of people. You know what I'm saying? And the instance of the matter is, in a pandemical situation, that wouldn't be the brightest thing to do at that time. You would have had to wait till that pandemical situation of the country was over and the border was to be manned by the military, stopping all border crossing until we cleared out the pandemical situation. We didn't see that happen. No. Wow, we were busy fighting to protect our constitutional rights based on the right of life, liberty, and property. Life, remember? First, what's the first one? Life. That's you. Life, liberty, and property, right? Now, if that's the case, as a constitutional right, then that cannot be suspended even within a pandemic. That's why they said if you don't want to do it, then just stay quarantined. Or take what they would say, or take safe measures of protection as you're traveling, so on and so on, right? Not just mask up the nose, boom, in your arm. That doesn't make sense. And you have the water wide open at the same time. So we could add up the roadmap and we could clearly see that something was definitely and still is deadly wrong. Let's just be honest. Have anybody looked at that situation? And then on top of that, after the situation has been uh, slowed down based on the pandemic, right? Actually, based on the pandemic, now we have a situation where we see it's come to this point, and now it's wide open and everybody's here. You would have the audacity to say that they would not have to be vetted out, or show identification, you know what I'm saying, of immunizing vetting, that they had the immunization and all this different stuff. They don't have to show no cars, no nothing. And then put that up on the news. Mm, 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 mm. And put that up on the news. Imagine that.